Welcome to more tales.
Am I the a-hole for hiding why I'm missing my best friend's wedding? Throwaway account for obvious reasons. I, 29M, was supposed to be a groomsman for my best friend, 30M, as we've been tight since we were kids. This weekend, he's marrying his fiancée, 28F, who I've known since they were dating long distance in high school. We have a massive shared history, and I honestly considered both of them like family. At his bachelor party last weekend, we started off at my place. Everyone was hanging out in my living room, having a few drinks, listening to music, and hyping him up for the big step. As the night went on, we transitioned to bar hopping. We hit a few spots downtown, and by the end of the night, my best friend was completely drunk. The guys, all our mutual friends and some of his cousins, were getting rowdy and started egging him on to do a last kiss before marriage dare. For extra info, I'm not a fan of that custom at bachelors or bachelorettes because it honestly makes it look like you're being held hostage to marry the love of your life, plus it's just disrespectful to your partner. That is just an opinion I have, and to each their own, but I knew my best friend shared it too. We had literally talked about how trashy those tropes were months ago over beer. Still, I figured if it came down to it, my best friend wouldn't do it because I know he loves his fiancée very much. To my literal shock and horror, he turned around, grabbed me, and kissed me. Not even a dumb peck. He actually dipped me and held it for a few seconds until everyone was laughing obnoxiously and filming on their phones. I didn't kiss back at all. I was paralyzed with total confusion. I just froze completely in his grip, feeling the absolute awkwardness of the whole room, and limply laughed it off when it finished just to defuse the moment. Inside, my stomach completely dropped. The mood was totally ruined for me. Later, as the guys kept drinking and yelling over the music, I realized I wasn't having much fun anymore and bailed early, taking some of our drunker friends home with me in an Uber to make sure they got back safe. The next day, I woke up feeling an unsettled knot in my chest. Around noon, his fiancée first texted me on Instagram asking if I had a minute, then sent a message on WhatsApp asking to talk, and then finally called me directly. Her voice wasn't yelling or anything, but she was just kind of awkward, hesitant, and quiet. She said she knew about the kiss because someone had posted a video in a group chat, and that while she didn't love it, she was glad it was me and not some random girl. She said if he'd kissed another woman, she'd have taken it as cheating and dealt with it worse. I agreed and backed her point, reassuring her that I would never have encouraged or allowed anything like that to happen intentionally, and that it was just a stupid drunken dare pushed by the rest of the guys. But as the conversation dragged on, her tone shifted. She admitted she didn't feel comfortable with me being at the wedding now either, because seeing me at the altar next to him would just be in the back of her head the entire day. She said it ruined the purity of the memory for her. I was admittedly stunned at first. A heavy, quiet silence stretched over the phone line. Then I felt mad, then deeply upset. But after a few seconds of processing, I came to the conclusion that it was her wedding at the end of the day, and I didn't want to be the source of anxiety on her biggest moment. I swallowed my pride and told her I got it and wouldn't go. She let out a huge sigh of relief, thanked me for understanding, but then added a tight condition. She asked me not to tell my best friend that she was the one who asked me to stay away. She didn't want to start a massive fight with him right before they walked down the aisle. I felt completely cornered, but I agreed to protect their peace. I have already sent the text backing out to my best friend, giving fake reasons regarding an urgent, last-minute work client I couldn't push back. I freelance, by the way, and he knows this. Because he knows how my schedule works, my lie wasn't a good one at all. He immediately saw through it. He went from being deeply upset and asking if there was any way I could clear my schedule to being straight up mad at me for bailing out on his wedding day for work. The social ripple effect hit almost instantly. All our mutuals have texted me in our shared wedding group chat and have asked me to reconsider. They told me there's no way I'm skipping his wedding for work I myself manage. Some messages are harsher, accusing me of being a terrible friend, and some are passive-aggressive, all of which feel very valid from their perspective because they don't know the truth. Now I'm stuck looking like the asshole when I was literally asked not to go, and also asked not to say that I was asked not to go. Everyone around me thinks I'm this asshole for prioritizing work over my best friend's wedding, and I honestly don't know how to navigate this without losing people. Edit. He just saw the message I sent and is typing. I'll hopefully update once we've properly spoken. Thank you for everyone giving me such good advice and setting me straight. I'm anxious as fuck and hoping this goes well as the wedding is literally this weekend and we have a pre-party I'll have to prepare for if I'm still counted as a groomsman. Update. Well, folks, buckle up because this situation went from a soap opera to a full-blown telenovela. After my last post, I took a lot of the advice people gave me and made sure my wedding dress was stored somewhere I believed would be safe. I honestly thought putting some distance between all of us would calm things down. Instead, my sister kept insisting I was being unreasonable, and my parents continued telling me I was selfish for refusing to help her save money. No matter how many times I explained that the issue wasn't about lending the dress but permanently altering something with enormous sentimental value, nobody wanted to hear it. I stayed firm, even though every conversation turned into another argument. Then, about a week ago, everything got so much worse. The dress went missing. At first I thought I'd misplaced it, but that feeling didn't last long. Something felt off, and before I had even finished checking everywhere, My mom accidentally admitted that my sister had already borrowed it. Borrowed. Without asking. Without permission. In other words, she had taken it. I got in my car immediately and drove straight to my parents' house. The second I walked through the door, I saw my dress spread across the dining room table. My dream dress. The one I had worked and saved for over several years. Next to it were fabric swatches, measuring tape, and a pair of scissors. It looked like they were only moments away from cutting into it. I didn't stop to argue. I picked up my dress, checked as quickly as I could that it hadn't been damaged, and walked out with it before anyone could physically stop me. My parents were yelling behind me, my sister was demanding I put it back, and I kept walking until I was in my car. Halfway home my phone buzzed. If you take that dress, don't bother coming to my wedding. That message changed everything. If she genuinely didn't want me there because I refused to sacrifice something that belonged to me, I wasn't going to beg for an invitation. Instead, my husband and I decided we would spend that weekend doing something that actually made us happy together. We booked a luxury spa getaway on the exact weekend of her wedding. It wasn't originally planned as revenge, but once everything that had happened sank in, I admitted there was a little satisfaction in knowing I'd be relaxing instead of sitting through a ceremony where I clearly wasn't welcome. While we were there, I posted a few photos of us enjoying the weekend with the caption, "So grateful to be spending this weekend with the love of my life, celebrating the best decision I ever made, my wedding. Wishing everyone a day as joyful as ours was." That apparently caused absolute chaos. My phone exploded with angry texts from my sister accusing me of trying to steal attention from her wedding. She called me jealous, bitter, and every other name she could think of. My parents contacted me several times asking me to delete the post and apologize because my sister was so upset she couldn't stop talking about it. I reminded them that they hadn't seemed nearly as concerned when my own special memory was about to be destroyed without my permission. Somehow ruining my moment was supposed to be acceptable, but celebrating my own marriage on my own social media crossed the line. The rest of the weekend was exactly what we needed. We enjoyed the spa, had incredible food, relaxed together, and ignored our phones for most of the trip. It ended up being far more peaceful than attending the wedding ever would have been. Now my sister still isn't speaking to me, my parents remain disappointed, and my wedding dress is safely back where it belongs. As for me, I'm still in possession of my wedding dress. And honestly, I have never been happier.
Thank you for visiting More Tales.